What's going on, guys? I'm pretty sure you hear me. I don't know. It says you hear me, but OBS be bugging sometimes. So put a 1 in the chat and hear me, a 2 in the chat you hear me, or 3 for me to shut up the podcast because you don't want to hear me. Welcome to the Addict Show, where we talk about the past, present, future of gaming. I don't have my co-host with me today. He is incapacitated. I don't know what's going on with him. Shout out to Hustle. Hope you feel better, man. But I got Dirt Griggity with me, man. What's going on, Dirt?
What's up, bro? How you doing, man? How do I sound? Is my levels okay?
You sound good to me.
All right. What's happening, bro?
I'm doing pretty good, man. It's we got a pretty crazy show. You know, what's funny is I almost canceled the show, man, because I'm sitting there. I woke up. I'm at my girl's house because I've been over there the past couple of days because I'm having a lot of stuff going on at my work job of place. I won't go too much into that, but so I'm sitting here dealing with all that. So I'm like, I gotta go. Like, I gotta get out of my house because I don't know why. Like, maybe this is my problem, but like when I'm here at my house, let's go ahead and move that there. When I'm here at my house, I always feel like I got to do something. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I got the setup. I'm like, I should be making videos. I should be making TikToks. I should be doing something. Why am I watching Stranger Things?
Right.
But if I'm away from it, I feel like I'm good. Like, even if I wanted to, it's not here. So, going all through this, I wake up and I'm like, you know what? Do I really want to drive 30 minutes home to do this podcast? And then I was sitting there. I'm like, you know what? I kind of want to talk. So I drove 30 minutes home to do this podcast, and I'm driving right back to her house. But it is what it is.
Hey, it's cool, man. It's not that bad. It's like 30 minutes isn't bad at all.
Yeah, but see, you guys have these ridiculous hour and a half to 2 hour commutes that you guys do out in I remember Kiss Boo used to drive like an hour and a half to 2 every day to work, and I'm like,
oh damn,
not me.
No. Damn, that's a lot. That is a lot. An hour and a half. Goodness.
Yeah. So appreciate it for coming through, though. We're gonna have a good show. We got some good topics for you guys.
Yeah.
Let me bring the topics up real quick.
Yeah,
we got
some good
state
topics.
of play impressions, man. We got the Take-Two remarks on Game Pass because apparently everyone got a comment on Dane on Game Pass. But we're gonna talk about that. We got Xbox selling great and wanting everyone, and now we got people out there. Mooch, I'm gonna just say your name, Mooch.
That's okay. Hey.
I'm gonna just say your name, Mooch. We got people like Mooch. No shade. Mooch knows his family, but he knows when I got something to get across, I'm gonna use his name because
there you go.
When you go on, what's funny is people are writing articles about this, and I understand where Mooch is coming from, but at the same time, I'm like, dude, it is what it is. We'll start with that. Let's start with that. Normally, I ask you, but you've been on here a couple times, so I'm choosing today.
Hey, go for what you know, my brother.
All right, so. Have you seen that Xbox? Is those NPDs or are those worldwide sales? Because I see Japan on there and I see the UK on there.
That's worldwide for last week. Yeah, worldwide. Yeah.
It's crazy. Okay, first off, what's been going on is last generation, a lot of the times, every month it was 2 to 1, sometimes even 3 to 1. The fact that look. See that's my girl right there. Or I can't ask ACG to come on the podcast last minute. The man's busy. All right, I get it. Hustle ain't here, but we will get him up here in a different day. I'm sure he's working on 8 reviews right now because that man don't sleep. So let him work, babe. Let him work. But anyway, so Xbox has been winning these monthly sales. Well, these weekly sales.
Weekly, right.
But when you start adding, you won 2 weeks here, 3 weeks here, it's a damn month after time. So look, is it anything to say no? But I will say that it's interesting that you go from a series such as, what's what I'm looking for? You go from situations last gen, and you go from the point that last gen was. Dirt, is it fair to say that they have no business winning any of these months? How do you go from one of the worst generations you've ever had and to some point where it's over? You get what I'm saying? You don't recover from that. And it's an interesting thing, and I think it's interesting just because it shows that what's the word I'm looking for? The perception of Microsoft and Xbox is at a completely different level than it used to be.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely.
So how do you feel about that?
Yes, I think you just explained it. Like the perception is completely different than last generation. If I see a lot of people that rock out with my channel, rock out with my podcast in the chat, and these guys know what I'm about to say because I say it a lot about last generation. Xbox, wasn't great last generation. And like you said, they were being outsold 2-1, 3-1. They got their teeth kicked in. To see what's happening now, I remember Cognito said, every generation is completely different, right? And the perception of Xbox has changed, whether it's, the acquisition of ZeniMax, whether it was the acquisition of Activision Blizzard, or maybe it's just the Xbox Series S, or maybe it's just word of mouth about Game Pass. All of those things are absolutely positive because they're doing this. They are selling great without any damn first-party games. Like, I know Halo dropped last year, but here we are 6 months into 2022. They haven't had any first-party games, and the systems are selling great. What is it? I think it's all of those things. I think it's a combination of all of those things.
I think a lot of it, like people say, oh, it's because they bought Activision. It's because they bought Bethesda. I don't think that is. Like, I do think that there are a certain amount of casual consumers that pay attention to big stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But I don't think it's like as big as people think. I think that's a small percentage of people. I think people are buying Series S's and Series X's, probably mainly Series S's, because of the value it brings to them. Because you can go in there. It's like, BG. I know a lot of people got issues with BG, but it is literally at that very high point of an impulse buy. $300 is a lot of money to a lot of people, but it's not a lot of money to a lot of people. Right. Where it's like one of those things where it's not more than a TV, a decent, nice TV, and it's not less where you feel like it's the quality of that product's bad. Mm-hmm. So that's the biggest thing, I think.
Yeah, I agree. But see, the reason I said the Activision Blizzard announcement, the ZeniMax announcement, yes, most casuals don't know about that, but I had a story where a friend of mine who was extreme casual, the only thing this guy plays is 2K and Warzone, Call of Duty Warzone. And he called me a couple of days after Xbox announced it, and he said, yo, Dirt, is it true that Xbox just bought Call of Duty? Like, he didn't even know Activision. He just said, is it true that they just bought Call of Duty? I said, yeah, that's true, man. And like the next question he asked me was, does that mean that the Call of Duty games are going to be in Game Pass? And I said, most likely. Now, like I said, this is a good friend of mine, but he's a super casual, and he somehow knew about it. But I understand what you're saying. Yeah, probably. But I understand what you're saying. It's a small percentage, and you're absolutely right. But at the end of the day, the Xbox Series S is that console, like you said, it's an impulse buy, or even people, I can't get an X. Okay, let me get the S. And it's technically a next generation console, and that price, man, it's hard to pass.
It's a good price, man. So, All right, with all this selling going on, they've been selling pretty good. Like I said, the fact that they are outselling PlayStation on any level is amazing, because last generation they were at a position where it was debatable if they would ever do any better, and now they are, theoretically they could potentially win months in the world. We're not talking about just the northern continent. We're not talking about just Canada, Mexico, and the North America. We're talking about the world, and that they're doing better on that. We have situations where they have sold more than the PlayStation 5 in their own region. Japan.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Sure, I think that's a little blown out of proportion. That's just me.
Yeah,
it is what it, but we gotta see if that kind of energy stays forward going forward. Mm-hmm. But I will say that Microsoft, I do feel like, sure, they have a long way to go. But Absolutely. I do think that with their two-prong approach, where we're going to get you with the cheapest and the strongest approach, and we're going to have this battery known as Game Pass fueling both of those.
Exactly.
We're going to hit you on both areas. I think that has really helped them evolve to where they are now. Now, keep in mind, this is also a scenario where, I honestly feel like Game Pass hasn't really delivered this year. It's been very lackluster. Sure, there's games that appeal to some people, but as far as their first party, they haven't really dropped a whole lot. And they're still bodying competition week to week half the time. And we're not talking we're talking outselling PlayStation in the States by like half, by like double.
Yeah.
People could say, look,
2-1.
We know that a lot of it has to do with the lack of supply on PlayStation. We know that.
Of course.
But at the same time, it's like David Jaffe said on the IOP a couple weeks ago. Sony could have did that same deal that Microsoft did, but they didn't pull the trigger. So at the end of the day, whose fault is that? Is it Microsoft's fault for using their money wisely to make sure they get the actual stock out there? Or is it Sony's fault for not using that money? I'm not going to say that, this is going to happen going out, but I want to ask you, Dirt, real quick, because it's just me and you. We can wing it a little bit. But I want to ask you, is it fair to say that the beginning of a generation is the worst time to not be able to meet demand?
Yeah. I think so.
Because my personal opinion is if we have this kind of scenario go on and you can't meet demand, let's say I got 5 friends. All right, let's say I got 5 friends. 2 of those people, they buy in early. They only get an Xbox if they get an Xbox. Hell, my girlfriend wanted a PlayStation 5. I was like, you ain't gonna find one. So guess what she has right now, Dirt?
What's that?
She got an Xbox Series X.
Wow.
So look, it happens a lot. And sure, I guess you guys can arguably say that I convinced her to get a Series X, and I didn't. I really didn't. I said, if you want a PlayStation, you'll have to look for one. I don't know if you can get one, but she said, I'm not waiting. I want a console now. So she got an Xbox. Now, let's say she's one of those people and someone else gets an Xbox. They can't. Let's say the other 3 upgrade in a couple years. Let's say we all a friend group. Where do you think those other 3 are going to go, Dirt?
Well, their friends have Xboxes. They're probably going to get an Xbox also. You're absolutely right.
Now, I will say stuff like crossplay has made it easier to play where you want to play. But just because there's crossplay doesn't mean there's cross-party systems. There's no Discord connecting all these platforms together. When I was playing Destiny and when I did play Warzone, I had to use the whack game chats. Game chat isn't really something that you could rely on when it comes to stuff like that. So it's best if you are going... Now, it's different if you have like one person over there. You could play cross-play. You guys have to go to all the game chat, but the majority of you are using party chat for the majority of these gaming sessions. But when you're constantly using game chat, I feel like I'm about to go deaf because I can't hear this person. This person sounds too quiet. This person's eating his mic. I don't know what's going on.
You got a lot of background noise with this other person.
And not to mention, they got that weird PlayStation thing. The one that you're talking to? I don't have a controller with me here. The PlayStation controller that's got the mic on the bottom.
Yeah.
I have heard that in game chat, and that is annoying. But I will say, it is actually a lot better than I originally was going to give it props. I thought that was going to be dog shit. I thought that was going to be like I thought you was going to hear people arguing in the background because you're going to know that shit's on.
Right.
I'm sure if you're playing your friend's system when he's at work or something and you pick up that control, man, I'm sure people get caught cheating with this thing. Like, get the boyfriend comes over and plays the boyfriend comes over and plays the husband's PlayStation while the wife's cooking dinner. Oh God, why is this thing on?
Exactly.
It's just like, I do think that when it comes to that, this is the worst. Now, does that mean they're going to win the generation? No.
No, of course not.
But this is when you time that they're winning without the games and they're winning because they have the supply. What's going to happen when they have the supply and the games?
That's a very good question because I think that's a question we have to ask because, like you say, if they're doing this with literally 0 first-party games in 2022, when that as Pong Soul said, that avalanche of games start to drop, what's going to happen then if they're going to drop a AAA game every 3 or 4 months? When does like maybe Starfield comes out, then maybe Redfall, then Hellblade, then all of these games coming out, like they're going to have a steady flow, and that's going to be something that that's a good question, man. Like, what's going to happen then? I don't see it dropping off.
People maybe it will increase. If you think all of a sudden they're going to start losing money at that point. It's right. Like the beginning of the PlayStation, they didn't the PS4 generation. They didn't really have a whole lot of games. They had some good indies. They had a couple good games, but they didn't have anything serious. I personally felt like once Bloodborne hit, that's when the official Spirit Bomb done hit Microsoft straight in the face. Because after that game, every holiday, every year was just more and more good shit. Like then I don't know when Persona came up, but Persona, sure. Like it's just there was so much last year, and Microsoft had that little bit of window in the beginning to get stuff together, and they got a little bit of stuff, but it wasn't nearly as much as they needed to hold that whole generation down once PlayStation was going.
See, Adam, but that perception of Xbox the first few years, like you said, Xbox, I think the first few years of the Xbox One generation, they had better software. I know PlayStation had a couple of good games, like Infamous Second Son. They had, like you said, Bloodborne dropped to 2015. They had a couple of good games, but Xbox they had some great games, from Titanfall to Dead Rising 3 to Sunset Overdrive dropped 2014, Halo 5 2015. So that first 3 years, Xbox had great software, but the perception of them wasn't great. PS4 was more powerful, and it's like everybody turned against Xbox the beginning of the Xbox One generation, and they was not able to recover because by the time Sony started dropping their great games, Xbox wasn't dropping any games.
I'm sorry, I got to interrupt you real quick.
Oh, no, you good.
This Johnny Depp and Amber Heard thing is over officially, and I think that woman is never getting a job. Like, she's never working ever again. Look, she's become a meme. Someone said Amber Heard likes PlayStation.
Yeah, I saw that. Trayvon. Yeah, that's...
Like, look, like... I ain't saying the woman don't deserve to ever work, but if you hire her at this age with TikTok against her, Twitter against her,
oh man,
people already saying I myself ain't going to go watch the next Pirates of the Caribbean and it has nothing to do with him not being with the court case or anything going on. I just personally feel like that movie doesn't make sense without him.
Yeah, man, you can't do that movie without him, bro. You can't do that movie.
You can't replace Captain Jack Sparrow without him. But that's
he is Captain Jack Sparrow. There's no other. No, you can't do that movie without him, bro.
I think that is probably the character in TV and movie history that you can never replace. Like, people want to say like Iron Man, you could replace Iron Man. Sure, people ain't gonna like it, but there are characters that's them. Like you see them, bro. Like the person who played Harry Potter. I don't think you could ever replace him.
Yeah.
Like, there's just certain people, those people are. Those are the people that years can go by and you still see them as that original character. Like,
hey,
they
still
could be
to
30
this day
years
call
older and you
Sylvester
still
Rocky.
See them. Yeah.
Every time I see Sylvester Stallone, he's still Rocky to me.
Yeah, but
Rocky.
Anyway, we'll go ahead. We'll move on from that conversation. I didn't want to go. Yeah. So let's talk about the real reason I brought this up, and it's, what it is, man. It's spicy. Got some spicy noodles, man.
I like spicy, man.
We're going to talk spicy. About it. So there's a lot of people, and, I'll go ahead and, like I said, I brought up Mooch earlier. I brought up, what we'll do is I will find the tweet, and this is what pretty much happened. So they, for those of you who don't know, Xbox 448 posted the hardware chart for for the 21st that week, May of 2022. And here is which I could probably share it to you guys. I guess. You know what? I will send it to in the chat. We ain't doing all that because then I have to restructure everything. We ain't doing none of that. All right, so pretty much what he said is he just showed all the actual stuff. And then what happened is he said, he said, I need an explanation here. If people buy consoles on those AAA quote-unquote bangers, and Xbox hasn't released a first-party game this year, how are they moving so many units?
Right.
I think that's a valuable question. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
All right, so in it looks like the northern part of the world, they sold 69,000. That's funny that they had that. 69969. That is crazy. So then PlayStation sold 34,000. I'm willing to bet that is strictly because of they can't make enough units.
Right.
It looks like other places of the world they sold 7,000. I wonder is that 2 weeks they've sold that kind of numbers in Japan?
That's two. Yeah, man. Because last week like 2 weeks ago they stole like 6,000 and some change. I was amazed by that.
Oh,
like, wow.
God. See, now I got to hear King. Now I got to hear King.
Now, hey, what's funny though, Addict? Let me say this right quick before you go. Remember, like there was sometimes in the Xbox One generation they would sell like 6 in a week in Japan, like literally 6 or 7. So to see them sell like 6,000-7,000 2 weeks in a row is pretty impressive over there.
Now I got to hear King. He's gonna talk about that. All right, then at the end of it all, worldwide, 131 to 123. Not a big difference.
Oh, it's not.
But we're talking worldwide, and we're talking. This is like what 2 weeks of this. Last week it was like 60, 70,000.
Yeah.
Look,
crazy.
like I'm not saying that this. Like I said, I'm sure that if the PlayStation thing here, I don't think people want me to believe dirt. That if PlayStation had enough units in every GameStop, Walmart, Target, Best Buy, that there would be like literally, like we don't even need these numbers. People want me to believe that instead of that 123, there's like an infinity symbol. Like they sold everything. Like that. Look, I'm not going to say that if they had stock, they wouldn't sell more than Xbox, because I'm pretty sure they would.
Yeah,
but we're not going to sit here and act like they would sell them by 3 or 4 times the amount. They want you to act like they're going to sell like 5 or 6 million a month. Mm-hmm. They would probably double those numbers. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Because people need to realize just because it's hot don't mean people got the money to buy it.
Exactly, especially when you have to buy it in a bundle.
Yeah,
it's how I had to buy mine.
With that.
Yeah, the bundle, man. I was like, come on, brother.
So now let's talk about Mooch, where Mooch comes in this. So Mooch commented and said Xbox Series S is why. $275 price point, not a shortage like the Xbox Series X and PS5. The chip shortage doesn't affect the Xbox Series S. Okay. First off, I need numbers, Mooch, where this doesn't affect the Series S. I know it doesn't affect it to a large amount, but I think how is everything getting a shortage but just that console? I guess because to my knowledge, the entire tech industry is in a huge shortage.
Yeah.
So look, I'm gonna be with you there, Mooch. They're selling that much because of the S, but I don't think they're making like 8 times the amount that the X is. They probably make 2 to 3 times the amount. I don't think it's like an absurd amount. They make enough to sit on the shelves from time to time. You know what's funny? People go into a Walmart and they'll see like a bunch of S's on the shelf, or they'll see like they're on the part of the shelf that says pre-ordered or something like that, or already reserved, and they'll take a picture without that top part saying they're already bought. It's crazy. It's just like people
look at all these Xbox Series S's on the shelf.
It's just like people at Black Friday taking pictures of like what do they call those things when you're at Walmart? A pallet full of Xboxes and PlayStations that haven't been able to be sold yet. You know what I'm saying? Right. They're just sitting there like they got the wrap and everything around them. And I saw that, I'm like, they don't sell stuff with wrap around them. They haven't put it on the floor yet. Like, it is what it is. All right, so then I say, as much as I don't like how some of these games take a little longer to get that 60 frames patch on the Series S, I gotta say it was extremely good for them to come out with the Series S. Right now, we can admit it's still subjective if you want to like the nitty gritty on the whole generation. We're maybe 2 years into it. We still got probably 5 to 7 years left. So who knows what the Series S is going to look like towards the end of the generation? But right now, it's doing good for them.
It is.
This is where it is. This is it. Mooch, on May the 30th, at 2:36 p.m. said, I almost think the Series S should be counted separately from the Series X.
Oh.
Some games hitting 540p and some having a hard time getting 1080p, which is funny because if you think about it, he said some games hitting 540p and some games having a hard time getting 1080p. Doesn't that seem like the same sentence?
Yeah.
If they're 540p, Mooch, they're not 1080p. Like that, I digress, Mooch. It's a nice device, but it's not applies to. Oh, it's not apples to apples. Okay, don't we? Okay, whatever. It's not apples to apples with the Xbox Series X and PS5. Just my 2 cents. Mooch, I love you to death, man. I love you to death. But we about to talk some shit. Mooch, I don't agree with your statement. And you know, right. People feel free to go on Twitter and tag at Mooch. I don't know his whole thing. I think it might be just
Mooch 78. I think
Mooch 78. Go tag him and tell him to pop up in here. And if he gets in here, maybe he'll get him a link. I don't know yet. It just depends on if I want him arguing. You know, right. if I want to, you know, if I want to have a one-way debate, I have a one-way debate. It just depends how I feel once he's in here. The reason I don't agree with that is because, like I said there, I feel like this would be valid criticism if they didn't do it in the PS4 and PS4 Pro and the Xbox One and the Xbox One S and the Xbox One X. All three of those bundles was one thing. The Switch has like 5 bundles. They're one thing. Kid Smooth famously pointed out that Apple has like 7 products and they put it all as one thing. Do they do they separate Apple's generations, or is it all still just Apple products?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know if they separate the generations. I don't think. You know what? That's a good question. I can't answer it.
Mooch is a friend. I know some of you don't like Mooch. Sometimes I don't like Mooch, but he's not a bad dude. He's just got bad takes to me. Let's stop with the attacking Mooch. You know, you feel free to give him criticism, but let's not be disrespectful, guys. Mooch is not a bad dude, all right? Just because you don't agree with him like I don't agree with him does not mean we had to attack him as a person, all right? But anyway, let's get this $5 super chat real quick from Raiden Blade. That PS problem, that PS problem, not a Xbox problem. When PS5 came, the best selling in history, Xbox is about to become the fastest comeback in history. Mooch, SYM. I don't know what SYM stands for. Do you?
Shut your mouth, maybe?
Shut your mouth. Yeah, okay. Okay. Mooch, shut your mouth. There you go. There you go. So what do you feel about this, man? Like, I got to hear it, man.
Well, like you said, I don't recall this being brought up last generation, be with the Xbox One X and the Xbox One S. Nobody said that. And I think it's pretty obvious why nobody said that, right? Because the PlayStation was kicking their teeth in. They were killing Xbox last generation in sales. So that never came up. Do you recall that coming up, Attic? I don't remember people saying the S and the, like the One X and the One S shouldn't be counted together. I don't recall that. And
that's like you said, it's because it fit a lot of people's narrative. Now, I'm not saying Mooch's narrative on that, but I am saying Mooch usually has a take that's a little bit of a pro PlayStation side.
Now.
Why you got me so spicy?
I was a huge Mooch and Crab guy, man. I used to love both of them. I used to call that show every week, man.
Raiden had another super chat. I'm sorry, Raiden. Let me bring it up. I was too in my Mooch bag. But you know, the one thing I want to say is like, look, it's like I said, if they would have changed that during the Xbox One generation, I feel like people would have criticism now. But I don't feel like you could say stuff like that because to a point it makes no sense. We got a $2 super chat from Raiden Blaine. Woofer issue is the chip. Probably remember Bloomberg. The woofer issue is the chip. Okay, so yeah, it's not the chip itself. It's something you use on the chip, I assume.
Okay.
And then we got Flame with the $2 chip. Mooch is mooching off bad fanboy narratives. Shake my head. Look, man, sometimes I'm going to say this, all right? And I know a lot of you people in this jangle like this. But sometimes it'd be too easy to push a chat in the way you want them to push. Way too easy. You can. I could easily see. I'm usually a little bit more. I'm what I like to call a true neutral. Like, like I don't like have a console just so I can talk shit about another console. Like, I literally have both of them, and I've gotten attacked in the same podcast for asking for Starfield to have a release date, and then I get attacked by the same people saying that I shouldn't want to play God of War. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. Like, look, my point is the fact that these weren't separated last gen. I feel like no one should have an issue of how they're doing this gen because nothing has changed. Agree. My issue is the Switch has never separated that shit. So you have really no point asking for it to be separated now.
I agree with you, man, because like I've seen, these are two separate consoles. There are big differences in power. Bro, the Xbox One S was way weaker than the Xbox One X. The PS4 was weaker than the PS4 Pro. Those consoles were two different consoles. And here we are. It's apparently a thing. I always say, if the Xbox Series wasn't selling well, hypothetically, if it wasn't selling well, this narrative would not be a thing. I guarantee it. This narrative would not be a thing. I think it's because they're selling well. After everybody said it wouldn't sell well, they said it was a mistake. They said it's holding next generation back. All of these things that they said, to see that the console was selling well, they got to come up with another narrative real quick. Separate them. They should be separate. So that's how I look at it.
Yeah, it's just like, look, like, I get it. I feel like the only reason you would want them to be separated is if you had a narrative you wanted to go there, Mooch. Like,
there you go.
Mooch, like, look, man, Mooch, if you watch this later, just put it in the chat or hit me up. No, put it in the chat. I want you to publicly defend yourself. Okay, put in the chat why realistically it makes sense to want them separated. Because to me, I can't think of one reason that you would want them separated. To my knowledge, I don't. I mean, Mitch might be an investor, but I don't know. I'm willing to. I don't think that, but he might be. Mm-hmm. Someone said I have a green screen, so I can't be neutral. Oh my God! Do people not know that green screens are green for a reason?
So hold on, like, so you guys are saying that his screen should be blue, right? Well, like, what are you saying? Now look.
Look, all I'm saying, man, is like, Mooch, man, I do feel like a little bit of your colors came out, man. The little PlayStation colors came out, man. You know what I always say about Mooch? People cannot like Mooch all they want, but man, that man can talk.
Yeah, he's
sometimes Mooch be talking, and I'd be second doubting myself.
Like, he's definitely talented, man.
He'll be talking, and I'll be like, do I really like Xbox?
Yeah, Moose, hey man, Moose has the talent, like the gift of gab, man. The dude is a natural. You know, he's an absolute natural. Like, he reminds me of like a sports talk show host, man. Just, he's always there with like with his analogies. You know, he's really talented, man. But, you know, that don't mean I always agree with him anymore anyway.
Yeah, it's like I said, we can all agree on, we can all disagree with each other and still be respectful. I feel like some of you in the chat be a little wild sometimes, just a little bit. But I understand, man. A lot of you guys, you know, I was raised in it too. You know, we were raised in very, like, you know, especially in friend groups where, like, our jokes would make people now cry. So,
oh, absolutely.
So I do understand. I do understand that. Like, some of you be joking, but you don't be taking it serious, but it looks like you're taking it serious because that's how you talk in your actual friend group. But it is what it is, man. But all I'm saying is, like, Xbox selling great. We need to take advantage of this, you know. I think it's good for everyone. It's going to push PlayStation to do more stuff. I don't understand this logic that we need to separate them because at that point, I think the only person that benefits is PlayStation fanboys and PlayStation. You know, I want PlayStation to be held to the fire. I want that because, you know, maybe I'll get a PlayStation that I can't commit murder with. You know, like, maybe it'll actually be a reasonable size. Like, tell me you don't look at that thing and think that you could use that as a blunt object.
Hey, listen, man. You know my setup. I can't stand it up vertically, right? I can't do it vertically, so I had to put it on the side. It just looks awkward, man. This it's big and it just looks awkward sitting in there, bro. My goodness.
Yeah, but it is what it is. So, we'll move on, man. We'll move on. We'll move on to Take Two's remarks on Game Pass.
Oh, yeah, I really want to talk about this.
Let me go ahead and get this $10 super chat from ATL. Appreciate the support, man. Appreciate the support. Imagine if they made a dongle port of the Series S family. They gonna riot. Oh, yo, imagine you could pay $10 for a dongle port at a Walmart, and you could leave there, and that's put on unit sales for the Xbox family. Yo. Okay, at that point, I think I would officially. Is that you, Dirt, in the chat? Is that you, or is that someone acting
that's
like
me.
you? Okay,
no, that's me. That's me.
I'm making you a moderator.
So
I feel like at that point, I would be a little bit on their side. Yo, it's $10, man. We can't really put that with this. It's not a console. Like,
right.
All right. So, first off, how do you feel about the statement? Because I only read the headline. I ain't gonna be real. I'm gonna be real with you. I only read the headline.
I just read the headline. Also, I didn't need to read the whole article. Listen, man. I put out a tweet. I quote tweeted this article, and I said it's easy for him to say, right? When you have a game that sold over 150 million copies, when you when you make billions of dollars a year on whatever Shark Cards is, you keep on remastering the damn game. You did it 3 times in 9 years, selling it at full price. You're making crazy money on this said game. Not every game sells like that. So yeah, it's easy for him to say that you wouldn't make like, how did he put it? Now, you wouldn't make money in the service. I forgot what he said. Day one service. Obviously, he's throwing a shot at Game Pass, right? Obviously, he's taking a shot at Game Pass. Look, man, every game doesn't sell incredible.
Most games actually don't sell incredible.
Absolutely. Most games don't sell incredible. Most games don't do Elden Ring numbers. Most game doesn't do, Spider-Man 2018 numbers, God of War numbers, or even Halo numbers in the past. Every game doesn't do that. So if you have a service, and if your company can afford to have a service where they can put their games in their service day one, I think it's benefiting that company. Now, I guess maybe it doesn't benefit them because they only do like 1 or 2 games a year. Was that 2K? Well, hell, I don't even know that anymore. It's just like Grand Theft Auto is an absolute monster. Yes, that game shouldn't be in the service at launch, probably, because that game is going to move units. 150, it's number 2 of all time. Yeah, so that's easy for him to say, Addict. Yes, of course he can say that. But other companies, other developers, other games will benefit from a service like this. Now, us gamers, we also benefit, but to sit there and say that, come on, man. Just stop it. He's taking shots at Xbox Game Pass. So if you don't want to put your game in the service, you don't have to. But maybe it's benefiting other companies putting their games in that service day one.
You know what's funny? Like, they have this energy for this, but it's like, Take-Two, didn't you have GTA in there? Didn't you have Red Dead in there?
Yeah, they did.
I mean, for all I know, Bully could have went in there. I don't know. Like, I mean, do they even really make, like, I mean, 2K's been in there? Like, what they say?
It's in there now.
They
it's in there right now.
Day and date games, and I get that. Like, I do to a point get that, but it's just like, I guess since you only, I don't know, man. Like, part of me understands where they're coming from, but the other part of me don't. Like, because it's just like, I feel like them in general would be actually better to have it in a service. Don't they have a subscription service for GTA 5 right now?
Yeah, I forgot about that. Isn't it something? Yeah, I forgot about that. I forgot the details of it. But yeah, there's something you gotta look that up right quick.
Yeah, I gotta look that up. Flame did make a good point before he deleted the message. They don't make a whole lot of games yearly either. And Microsoft, to this point now, they don't either. Microsoft's still catching up for the pandemic. There's still a lot of issues on why Microsoft hasn't released a lot of games here recently. And I think if you don't have the catalog, that's why Microsoft bought so many studios. They don't have the catalog to sustain something like Game Pass. So I can understand why he would think that. And to a point, we can't act like a GTA 5. You can't act like they didn't make that money. They made a lot of money off the initial sales of that game. But they made a lot of money off shark cards. Way more than they made off selling the game.
Absolutely, man.
So to me, they could easily do that. And maybe that would even encourage more people. Have you ever played a game on Game Pass or anything, or played a free-to-play game and you're like, I didn't put no money into this. Let me slide my car a little bit. Like I feel like people do that. So
absolutely.
I think they would actually make more money. I don't know, but I'm not encouraging microtransactions. Okay, let's calm down a little bit. But I do feel like, to a point, I agree with him on single player games. I don't think Fable is going to make money unless they put some kind of microtransaction. But I think that they're willing to not necessarily waste the money, but they're willing to invest the money into something like a Fable to make Game Pass more diverse, so the other games can make them the money.
Exactly, more attractive. Yeah, exactly.
Because if you keep these people up in the service, you're going to make more money in the long run. But the only way to keep them in the service is to have a diverse library, to make it as accessible as possible. That's why you're hearing stuff about the dongles and stuff coming on there. You have the Xbox Series S coming in there. So things like that is what's going to keep Game Pass afloat. And I think people need to get on this hating on this thing, hating on that thing. At the end of the day, what's the most important thing about this is, if you're getting the games that you want, if you're getting the service at the price that you want to spend to, that's all that matters.
That's it.
Look, I just don't understand why so many people are interested in Game Pass. It's just I really feel like it's I was about to say something crazy. Okay, I'm not saying it. At the end of the day, the only thing that should be important is how much you're spending, what kind of content you're getting. If you're a head-to-head fighter and you don't invest in Game Pass, understand. There ain't nothing in there for you. They got to fix that. If you are a racer fan and you're not invested in Game Pass, what are you doing?
Exactly.
There's plenty of stuff in there. I mean, they got sports out the ass in there. I was corrected last week by, I don't know if it was the week before that. To me, Game Pass is only as a value as stuff that you want in it. If they don't have the games that you want, okay. I don't know why people talk down on indies so much. Some of the best indie games. Oh, we need a shirt, man. We what's up, ACG? We need an indie game. Indie games have been some of the best games I've played. Moonlighters. I love that game. It came out when that game came out when God of War came out, and I enjoyed that more than God of War. Star Renegades, an amazing game in Game Pass day and date. I think World West. What's that game called?
Wow.
I haven't been able to play it yet. Yeah. Amazing game in there day and day. I get it. It's not everyone's cup of tea. I get it. I'm not going to sit there and say that everyone has to play indie games. But if you're in this chat and you haven't, when you see an indie game show up, and especially if you see hype,
right?
Weird West, that's what it's called. If you see hype, at least download it and try it, man. What's the worst? What's the worst?
I love
Death's Door.
It
came after the game came out. I'm talking more about day and date games.
Oh, you talking about? Okay,
yeah. Tunic.
Yeah, I was just about to say.
People
Tunic.
keep telling me over and over again, "Yo, you need to try Tunic. You need to try Tunic." I got it. Look, someone literally just said Tunic when I said it.
Yeah.
There's more games than AAA products. I'm not saying AAA products aren't good. They're amazing, but we can't act like some of these AAA games. My microwave works better than them half the time, and my microwave's a piece of shit. So, right. We got to admit that sometimes these games, it doesn't matter what they are, it can make a service more appealing. We got to admit that. And I honestly feel like people, they're so obsessed with finding something wrong with Game Pass, they're not acknowledging what's right with Game Pass.
Exactly.
Is Microsoft's first party been absent this year? Yes. I hope they fix that. Now, obviously, there's some rumor going around that Avowed's going to come out this year. I would, if I had Salt, I would show it. Take the whole Salt thing. That's where you need to look in that one. I don't think Avowed's coming out this year. Now, it might. Maybe the game was pushed back internally and it was pretty much done because Starfield was going to come out and they just flipped them. I don't know.
Right.
I'm not a developer. I don't know what's going on. I do know people at Obsidian, but when it comes to my dev friends, I don't ask them stuff like that because I know it's going to put them in a weird situation. They're going to feel uncomfortable because I'm asking about stuff I shouldn't be asking about. So I never ask about anything like that. But, you know, I want to ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think that maybe people are scared of service industry, kind of like the way the movie industry went to, and that's why people are so scared for Game Pass to be extremely successful?
Honestly, I think it depends on where it's coming from. The average gamer, no. I believe services is a part of our life now. In 2022, music, most of us have services like Spotify or iTunes. I think it's just a part of our life now. You know, we talking about movies. Yes, the movie theater is still a huge thing, but hell, like Netflix has 290 million subscribers. Disney Plus is 170 million subscribers. That's a lot of people.
And yo, I gotta admit it, man.
What's up?
When I first heard of Disney Plus, I was like, Disney out of their mind. What kind of content could they possibly have? They done slapped me in the face.
Yeah, they're killing it, man.
They doing such a good job. Like, I would honestly say, for considering they own a lot, but when it comes to reality, they don't own a lot. They just own a lot of IPs, but they don't really use a lot of them. Now, if you take away all the the Disney, stuff they make for kids stuff away, they own Star Wars, Marvel. They own a lot of stuff, but it's stuff that appeals to me. They don't own a lot. But man, they've leveraged the shit that I like.
They're killing it, man.
I watched that Obi-Wan thing. We ain't gonna really spoil anything, but I was like, damn, I gotta hold on to this service now, man. Gotta hold on to this service. This is a great 2 episodes.
What did you to say? They dropped something in that service that you enjoy so much. You say, y'all got to hold on to this service. I think that's clearly Xbox strategy. Now, it has been dry in 2022, but that's why you buy all of these studios. You want to put consistent content in that service. And back to what I was saying, this is our life now. This is what we do. You know, we're paying monthly services fees. We're paying, streaming. That's the days we're living in. So having a game service that's a service, a monthly subscription fee to where I can play games, I think that's great. Now, the people that may be scared of it or, intimidated by it, said, oh man, I don't want it to hurt the industry. Listen, there's maybe those guys are, I don't know, we call them old heads or, has an archaic way of thinking. No, it's not what it used to be, or it's not what it should be. Then there's the other guys that want Xbox to fail. We know who I'm talking about. They want Xbox to fail. They want Game Pass to fail. They want Game Pass to fail so bad that I've seen some tweets in the past. They want all subscription services to fail just to prove their point that Game Pass should be a failure also. So, yes, there's people that don't want it to succeed. There's people that want it to fail. But then there's people like us, man. I enjoy it. I'm a gamer. I'm a real gamer. I enjoy games. And Game Pass provides me with games to play. And I still feel Game Pass is not where it's going to be. And I think once everything gets rolling, the content drops on a consistent basis, no droughts, it's going to be absolutely incredible.
See, I do think that we do need to talk eventually about whether or not the money that Microsoft invests into the brand can even really be realistically retrieved in the long term thing. Because, damn, $68 billion, that's a lot. But at the end of the day, if you want to have a conversation like that for just like some kind of, I wouldn't say educational because I don't know shit about it, but just as some kind of conversation, that's one thing. But to go every week and act like that's the key component that you talk about, I don't care if they don't make it back.
Right.
Look, first off, you got to realize that they bought Activision for multiple reasons. It just wasn't for gaming.
Preach.
Could, if they were able to fix those IPs, they could easily sell them, that whole company, back for more than they gave. I'm not going to say they're ever going to do that. They're probably never going to do that. They want those for multiple reasons. But we got to get off this thing saying, stop being a Microsoft's pockets, man. Stop being a Microsoft's pockets. Because at the end of the day, I do personally feel like Microsoft is in a very good situation. And I like it because it's going to push PlayStation in a different direction. Nintendo ain't never going to change. They're going to be on the same track they've always been in. But guess what? Whose fault that is? It's my fault. I'm buying Pokemon this year. I bought Pokemon the year before last. It's clearly my issues because we always be buying this stuff. But it's just like, if you make good stuff, they will come. I've always said that. If you make good games, everyone will come. It doesn't matter what it is. I'm under the impression that a huge portion of all the games budget is marketing. And you could easily use marketing to your advantage when you're out in the market for individual games anymore. You just market Game Pass and you theme it towards that game.
Yeah. And you mentioned like some of the big games in the service. Subscribe to Xbox Game Pass. You can play Halo Infinite. You can play so-and-so. You can play this. Yeah, you're right about that.
Now, I do feel like we are in a situation where Microsoft does need to be questioned. Especially their management skills. I'm aware with you guys. We need to question, why is it? We just got a Fable thing. We could talk about that here in a second. Actually, that will be the next topic we talk about. Because damn, we're going through these topics fast. Let me get this super chat in this chat real quick. We got a $10 super chat from Flush Jackson. I love that name, man. Don't change it. It's why I love it? Because it's so simple for me to pronounce. I love it. All wafers are the subtract for the chips, so think of it as a pizza dough for a pizza, and the chips are the individual toppings embedded in the dough. Many chips can be embedded per wafer. All right, so pretty much it's like is it like the thermal paste stuff? I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I'm not an engineer. Maybe I need to get Jason Ronald on here one time and explain to me what the hell
yes, I have no idea.
And then we got a 20-month super chat from Viper XT, 20-month message. They want to separate the Series S and the Series X sales, but quick to combine the PlayStation Plus tiers all together.
Facts. He's absolutely right. Somebody just did that to me on Twitter.
Toasted. I don't.
He's absolutely right.
I felt uncomfortable for them. That was a pretty good. That was pretty good, man.
He's right about that. Good. And somebody just did that to me on Twitter. They were talking trash and said, "Yo, look at PlayStation sales, or like PlayStation Plus," and they kind of added them all together. That's funny.
So we got 80 likes up in here, man. We got 330 people almost watching. I appreciate you guys for coming through, man. Like, I will admit I've had a really, really rough week, and I did look forward to coming here and just talking it up. Because, like, ILP, love ILP, but sometimes I'm selfish, man. I want to talk. And when you get, see, and ILP's a way more structured podcast than this, sometimes I can't talk. And I get mad. Right. That's why I interrupt so much. In case you guys ain't noticed, I haven't interrupted as much as I nearly has done. Because I do take input. I see people say, "Yo, Addict, stop interrupting." I'm like, damn. Did it again. Got a $2 super chat from Kendrick Starr. What's up, Dirt? Didn't know you was here. What's up, Addict? What's up, Kendrick?
What up, Kendrick? What's up, brother? How you doing, man?
So, I'm here. Addict's World, yeah, I'm the man. Oh, yeah, I'm the sheriff. I can kick you out if I want to. People got mad because I used to say that. I'm the sheriff of the Addicts World, and I can kick you out if I want to. I don't know, man. I don't know. All right, so let's talk about this Fable thing. I didn't put this in here, but let's talk about this. Did you see how supposedly Fable's world has been downside due to technical issues or something like that?
Yeah, something with scope. I guess Gas said that he heard that Fable was downsized and like they were having issues with the Forza Tech engine or something like that.
I was actually told, well, actually maybe I shouldn't say that. Never mind, I wasn't told nothing. All right, so look, at the end of the day, people need to realize this happens in every artwork known to man.
Mm-hmm.
The same people saying, "Yo, there's something wrong." They're downsizing size of the same people buying the special version of the Marvels that comes with the deleted scenes. Where do you think those deleted scenes came from, Dirt?
Right.
They were cut from the game.
Yep. They filmed them, then they decided to
No, it's not even just filming. I've heard of scenarios where people work for weeks on story relevant content for these like TV shows and stuff, and it's all cut. Weeks down the drain.
How about Back to the Future? Like Back to the Future story. I know you heard about that story, right?
No.
You know how Eric Stoltz was Marty McFly? They did 2 weeks of work, and the director's like, he's not the guy. So they had, because they wanted Michael J. Fox initially, he couldn't do it. They got another guy to do it. They filmed 2 weeks, and they said, you know what? He's not the guy. This isn't going to work. And they made deals to get Michael J. Fox, and obviously that was the right move.
All right, so pretty much what happened is, a developer came out, Amory Miss Sparkles, I believe her name. She's a senior producer at Fable at Playground Games. She said, "I wanted to clear something up about scoping. It is a normal, necessary, and healthy part of a game development. I can guarantee you that every AAA game you've ever played will have gone through scoping regularly during development. Its intentional is to make sure the team are focused under one clear vision and can get it made in time without killing themselves. Games that haven't been scoped correctly often have delays and crunch, but we should be aiming to avoid both whenever possible. Look, we've had developers such as Undead Labs on here. They said they cut stuff from the game. We just saw rumors going on that what's it called? That Starfield had stuff cut from the game. It is natural. It happens all the time. How many times do you see people going through the game code of a game and they find stuff that was cut from the game, but it wasn't took out of the game?
Right.
Like, we saw bosses that was in Elden Ring that was never in the game because they will go all the way up to the point where it's in the game and then realize they can't make it work. And then they're like, should we take weeks to take this out? Because sometimes it's whole regions that just aren't working and they take it out. This is normal. I get it. People are I feel like this is just me, Dirt. Tell me if I'm bugging. Hustle ain't here, so you're going to have to be the dude that tells me Zadok bugging. Okay. I feel like there's a witch hunt. I feel like if you could even remotely make something where you could put it in a slight toss to the fact that maybe Microsoft isn't managing a studio correctly, you're doing it in a heartbeat. Yeah. And I feel like that's going on here because to me, there's no reason to think that this studio isn't capable of making good games. Sure,
I was just about to say that.
They've made Forza, and I get it. It's a completely and I'm speculating with you guys. I'm like, yo, I don't know about this. Because Fable is important to me. Extremely important to me. I played Fable 1, Fable 2, Fable 3. Hell, I even played that stupid ass Kinect game. I even like that Kinect game. I've played all of these games multiple times. And I want it to be good. But at the same time, I can't say that a studio that has nothing but shown quality can at least make a solid game as a Fable franchise. Keep in mind,
thank you,
that back in the day, before all this happened, there's huge rumors going around that was pretty much saying that Playground Games didn't want to be bought. And the only reason that they agreed to be bought was because they pitched them an idea for a game that they owned. And people assumed it was Fable. And then Microsoft bought them. Now, I'm not saying that's exactly what happened. I'm not saying that. Okay. But I am saying that they bought them. I don't think it was for the Forza Horizon franchise. They've been making them for like a decade. Right. Why would you buy a studio, why would you buy a studio that already making the games you want? There ain't no issues there. Microsoft owns the IP. But they bought them when they started making Fable because I feel like Microsoft is trusting Fable. And I've been told that there's like Halo money behind Fable. Like, this isn't something cheap that they do. This isn't something that is going to be like a very low budget. This has money behind it. Now, is it going to be as much as they put in Fable? Halo, I don't know. But I have been told that it's got a lot of money going behind this franchise.
I can believe that.
We got a $2 super chat from Flame. For example, Destiny cut 98% of its content. Oh my God, you guys have serious issues with Fable. Well, no, Flame does. We got a $2 super chat from Luke Skywalker. I love that. God of War Ragnarok is cut content. Oh my God, King, you are here and you're not even here.
That's funny, man.
We got a $5 super chat from Pixelbit G. Remind people that 4 entire worlds were cut from God of War. Ragnarok started as DLC and was extended. Also, we know pre-E3 Xbox gets hated on yearly. I agree with you to a point. Here's the thing. I think even Dirt would agree that all the year that the Xbox Series X was coming out, and a lot of the year after that, there was nothing but positivity on Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
There's negative stuff with the Xbox, so they rightfully get the criticism.
Right.
Just like PlayStation, they'll get the criticism if they do it. People will get smoked when they do things wrong. But Microsoft has been doing a lot of things wrong lately. And it's not necessarily stuff that's in their control. When you buy all these studios, and I'm not saying that they didn't know how to manage studios, but I'm saying that they managed such a small amount originally, and then you go from managing 4 or 5 studios to managing like 24 right now, about to be 30 something. And keep in mind how long of like a 2 or 3 year distance that they owned all these.
Yeah.
Like that's a very short amount of time to take this amount of teams under your wing. And I'm not saying that Microsoft's completely 100% squeaky clean. I'm not saying that, because I do think that they got their issues, man. I feel like,
of course, nobody's flawless.
What's going on 343, that's 100% Microsoft's fault, because they've let them drop the ball on Halo multiple times. And I'm not saying that Infinite was a drop the ball moment. I felt like Infinite did a lot of things right, but in hindsight, maybe they should have just bit the bullet and delayed it again. I don't know. But, it is what it is. Let's get these super chats real quick, and we'll continue with this. Oh, no. Okay, we already got them. All right, so look.
You got them. Yep.
When it comes to Fable, man, it's like I said, I want this game to be better. And I understand where people are coming from. If it was a bad studio, not necessarily a bad studio, a studio that hasn't really shown that they can make very high-quality games, I would be right there with you guys. But can we see gameplay first before we start going crazy?
Yeah. Well, Attic, you mentioned it. See, when there is a trust factor with the studio, you just trust them. That's like with your credit. When they pour Laura Addict's credit and they say, "Oh man, you've paid all of your bills on time for years, Mr. Addict. What do you want?" It's a trust thing, right? Your credit shows that they can trust you because in the past you have done the right thing. You've paid all of your bills on time. So when you look at Playground Games, yes, I know they've only made Forza Horizon games, but each and every one of those games have been absolutely incredible. So I trust them until they prove otherwise, until they show me otherwise, right? Yes, I know they're going from a racing genre to role-playing game, but I trust them. So whatever is happening, okay. I'm not behind the scenes. I'm a guy that likes to eat. I'm not really the guy that likes to cook. So whatever the chefs are doing, I trust them to make sure the food is good.
Now, when the food comes out and it's not cooked right, it's burnt on this side, burnt
now
on that
we have
side.
Issues.
The noodles feel like dough. Then we go into the kitchen. We go into the kitchen with this bad food and demanding a refund. But you guys want to complain before you even get in the restaurant.
Bam.
It's just like, man, it's like I said, complain when it makes sense. Microsoft seems to have some issues with management. There's been multiple studios with issues. That's valid. PlayStation seems to feel like they could do whatever they want with these like and relatively anti-consumer moves. I know people feel like people use that word too much. I digress. We're not going to go into that. That's worth criticism. But saying Playground Games is cutting content when every other studio does that, and then saying that's an issue when we ain't even seen anything on but the CGI cutscene, I don't think that's an issue. I think people need to relax.
I think you already said it. It's a witch hunt, like you said, because this year they've had some public stories, like regarding some issues with their development teams, a couple of development teams, and this one, oh look, it's happening again. Look at Xbox, it's happening again. But like you said, those guys didn't even take time to actually do their research. And I'm glad that this developer came out to say, yo, this happens in every AAA game.
Yeah, but it is what it is, man. So, we ain't going to go too much into that. Like I said, I get it.
Yeah.
This is just another story of some negative stuff with Microsoft. First off, I don't think it's a negative story. I think it's just something that happens. What's funny is I've been told that sometimes publishers have to keep developers like in a realistic mindset. Because if you let a developer and give him money and never, we got to do this, they will keep developing, because a lot of developers are like, they want everything perfect. Mm-hmm. They want to stretch that muscle, that creative muscle constantly. And sometimes what you get versus how much long it took doesn't make sense. And a developer, 9 times out of 10, but it'll be lit. We got to do it. It'll be lit. We got to do it. But then there's the money side of it. It's like, but how long is that going to take? How much money are we going to have to put into it? Like, there's got to be a little bit of give and take when it comes to it. And I think Fable's going to do fine. I don't think Fable is going to be issues. Now, when we see the gameplay or any form of gameplay and it looks bad, then you're going to hear me going, you're like, man, Dirt, they failed me, man. They failed me.
They let us down. No, but I think you'll be fine, though. Playground game, if they're absolutely incredible. So I was playing Forza Horizon 5 the other day, and that's one of those games where you just put down the controller for a second and say, damn, this game looks incredible. Like the trees were blowing, it was about to rain, it looked incredible. So I'm pretty sure Playground Games are going to make sure Fable was quality.
Yeah, and then, I don't even know if Fable was even on that engine. Have they ever came out officially and said what engine they're on?
No, they didn't. Maybe that's just the assumption. I'm not sure.
All right, so let's go ahead and move on, man. Let's move on to the prime example of the evening. Well, let me do it like the UFC thing. Welcome to the... do they say welcome? I can't remember. It's been so long. Like, welcome to the main event of the evening. In the left corner is the state of play predictions. And the right corner is Dirt, Griggity, and Lord Addict. So
there we go.
Okay, keep in mind, the state of play is tomorrow at like 6 p.m.-ish. I don't know. Yep. We will be doing a live reaction to it. I actually tried to do something else, but King was like, but Addict, I want to do it, man. You know how King wants to do it. Nah, damn. I was like, all right, King, we'll do it, man. We'll do it. I got you, King. I got you. So I'm going to be live streaming with Cog. I don't know if Sov will be there. Sov got like 9 jobs. So, hopefully he can make it. I don't know. But the thing is, when it comes down to it, is this is only third-party stuff. And the way that they've hyped this up, people will say, oh, it's third-party, Addict. So I think it's Final Fantasy 16. I've seen even people throw Persona 6 out. Like, I feel like they're going to put that for the PlayStation Showcase.
Yeah. This is the state of play. Right. This is the state of play.
Okay. What is your expectations when it comes to this? Not your predictions, what you expect.
Well, since they already mentioned it, definitely a lot of PSVR 2 stuff. They already said they're going to show that Horizon game on PSVR 2. I think you're onto something right there, because people just automatically assume, let's say, third-party partners, they're going to show Street Fighter 6 or or Final Fantasy 16. And like you said, unless Final Fantasy 16 is coming out in 2 months, they're probably going to wait until the PlayStation Showcase to show a game that big. State of plays are usually, smaller shows. Like the show is under 30 minutes. They're not going to show too much, right? So I'm thinking when it comes to third-party partners, maybe just a multiplats that Sony has marketing deals. Maybe a couple of indies. If they do show Final Fantasy 16 or something like that, I would be surprised.
People saying Death Stranding. I saw that thrown out there too.
Death Stranding, what, 2?
Yeah.
Nah. This is a state of play, y'all. It's not their showcase. I'm expecting, like you said, Addict, I'm expecting the big games being shown at their showcase whenever it is in September. I know last 2 years it was in September. So yeah, I don't know, 30 minutes, bro. What can they do much in 30 minutes is a short time.
Yeah, they're gonna show us 20 minutes of Final Fantasy 16 and 10 minutes of VR. That's what we're gonna see. Got a $5 super chat from Alvin. Final Fantasy 7 remake and Persona 5 has been taken off the PlayStation console exclusive list on the PlayStation site. Grain of salt, but it's curious. I didn't know that.
I've heard of it. I read that earlier.
Persona 5 is no longer now. I know Persona 5 has Royale now, so I'm kind of curious. Did they take it off that and put it on the Royale one, or is it off both? I don't know. Final Fantasy 7 remake. It's on PC, so it's not really exclusive. But did they actually physically say console exclusive or just exclusive?
Oh, I don't remember.
I don't know, Alvin. You feel free to comment.
I'm just under the assumption it's never coming to Xbox. That's just how I'm thinking. It's not coming to Xbox, but I hope I'm wrong.
It'd be crazy if we actually get a Final Fantasy and a Persona announcement at this E3.
That'd be cool.
Yo, you guys want to hear me flip out? Okay. I know this probably ain't gonna happen. If you guys want me to see me truly flip out, let a Final Fantasy 7 remake be announced at Game Pass. Not even Game Pass, Xbox in general, I would be okay with. And then let Persona come out for Xbox. And then let a Fable gameplay show in the same E3. They will never be another. You'll never hear me bitch ever again. That would
so
be.
Those 3 things. That's what you need. Those 3 things.
Those 3 things is better than the year Sony announced Final Fantasy 7.
Wow.
No. Let me rephrase that.
2015? Was that 2015?
Yeah. Let me rephrase that. Fable kind of looked good. If Fable looked bad, okay, then we're having a conversation. I do feel like we need Persona. Okay, now let's, instead of your expectations, what is some of your predictions?
Okay. Some of my predictions, I think that they're not going to show Call of Duty. Oh, man. Maybe that... Will they show Forspoken again?
No.
I don't think so either.
I think it's going to be right there with how I feel about Deathloop when it was coming out. I ended up loving Deathloop, and I get made fun of by a lot of the people that I'm cool with and a lot of my friends in the industry because for some reason I love Deathloop, and everyone around me hated it.
Really?
Yeah, I love that game. I love that game.
I can play it now. I just thought about I can play it now, but I'll probably wait till it comes to the Xbox.
Yeah, at this point, you should just
because I prefer achievements.
Yo, what if we do see a Deathloop trailer at the E3
they might do that. They might do it and announce it. Yeah, it's coming this September. Yeah, but I don't. My predictions. I'm sorry to let you down, Lord Addict, but I don't know what the hell they're going to show. Only the PSVR 2. They already announced that. Okay, maybe they will show Final Fantasy 16, but I'm more in the lines of I think they will wait for it to be a bigger show. But then again, even though this is a state of play, this is close to Xbox big show. We have Summer Game Fest coming up, so maybe they will show Final Fantasy 16. So that's what I'm going with. They're going to show Final Fantasy 16. Show some gameplay from Final Fantasy 16.
Oh, that's cool. Like all I want is good games, man. I feel like Deathloop was a great game, and
I can't wait to play it, bro. I love arcane games. I love
Arcane's
Dishonored.
good. I felt like Dishonored. Look, it didn't have the greatest story. It had a cool story. I felt like Dishonored had a better universe, and I felt like they could have made Deathloop in the Dishonored universe if they would have just made a couple slight changes.
Yeah.
What happened to your multi-week Xbox showcase predictions, Addict? Starfield got delayed. I don't want to talk about it no more.
Hey, I feel. Hey, you know what? That's a good point. Yeah, you got delayed on.
I might have something next week. Something right before the show. We're on a Wednesday. They would be on a Sunday. I might have some people right on before the show. I don't know though, man. I don't know. We'll see. Here's why I feel about this. I feel like this makes me kind of think now that God of War is definitely getting delayed.
Really?
Because how are you going to come out in June and say, "Yo, we doing something else on something else"? Everyone's looking forward to God of War, but you doing a state of play on something else that's not God of War.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute, Alec. You got me thinking. It is June. It's June 1st today. Tomorrow. Wait a minute. That is something. So you're saying because they're dropping this state of play on June 1st, and they have already announced no first party stuff. So you're saying if you were dropping God of War this year, they should be announcing the date soon, right?
Mm-hmm. Unless they have a teaser at the end of this showing another state of play. But to me, once again, why do that when you could have the teaser on a YouTube video going into this?
Right.
I mean, I guess they could theoretically give it to what's his name, the Summer Game Show, but it's just like they've never really done that. Are they going to? I'm probably wrong. So you're going to tell me I'm wrong. I know. Put a time in there where PlayStation said someone else can have something as big as God of War's release date. Because I don't think I can give you a time. I really can't. I don't know one time that's happened. And they've always they've been very big on giving an entire state of play to something like that. And part of me just feels like if they would have done that, they would have done it by now. Like what are they waiting for? What are they going to do it in like July?
Yeah, that's a good point, man. That's a good point. But I do remember them with God of War 2018 dropping the release date like on Twitter. And it was like maybe February and it came out in April. Unless I'm wrong, but I do remember something like that. So maybe they'll do that, like drop a release date in August and the game drops in September. I don't know. Maybe, maybe that's just me.
I want a good God of War. Keep in mind, this is the last God of War as well. Not like ever, but this is the God of War that concludes this series. There's no trilogy. This is it. And then I assume he's going to go to Egypt and mess all them up next. I don't know. That'd be cool. I ain't going to lie, man. I'm with that. I'm with that. Go over there and do some. I'm a little skeptical, a little feared on my end that it's going to be hard to connect all the dots that needs to be connected in this game. I'm not saying they can't do it because St. Monica is a very good studio. I will say that there's a new lead there. Corey Barlog's doing something else. He's not. Yeah, he is. He's not working on this God of War. He's doing something else with St. Monica. So I'm kind of curious. Can we give the same type of energy to 2018 going into this one that we gave 2018 when the same person didn't make 2018? I don't know. Like I personally feel like it's up in the air. I'm not going to say it's not going to be a bad game. Confident it's going to be a very well-received game. Yeah. But I don't think you're going to get the same feedback you got from 2018. You don't think so? The reason I don't think that is because you can only switch shit up one time. You can only do it once. Now, I don't think you can't do it again so soon. They did it with Zelda. Zelda got Game of the Year. Switched up completely. Got it. Did it with God of War. Went from whatever it was to this. Switched it up drastically. Got it. Elden Ring just did it with the From Software formula. And they're arguably going to get Game of the Year. you don't have that type of effect like you had it the first time you did it. And I don't think they're going to have it this time. I think it's going to be received well because the game is good.
Right.
But as far as the game gets the kind of critical success that the original one got, I don't think that's happening because you can't recapture something that happened in 2018. When they switched up the type of formula that God of War, I honestly feel like it changed the industry. I really do. In 2018, people was looking at that God of War formula, and they were looking at their games. It's like, if they change it up, why can't we?
Right.
And, I'm not saying that's how Zelda happened or anything like that. Zelda's probably going to happen regardless. But I'm saying that inspired a lot of developers to their franchises that's been stagnant for a while. Let's just flip it up on its back. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if they're going to get that again. And so I feel like because of this, because the state of play, I don't know if we can realistically see a God of War this year. When we're in June, they know people want to see something God of War related. And they're showing us VR. Let me repeat that. We're in June, which is iconically in the gaming world is the E3 time. E3's not here, but people still expect that kind of news. There's a reason that Jeff Keighley and Xbox and Sega are all doing stuff at the beginning of June. But Sony shows up, yeah, we got this VR stuff for you. We got some third party stuff for you. Like, maybe I'm wrong and they show Final Fantasy 16 here because the other big game they got is God of War and they give that to Jeff Keighley. It's a possibility.
Right.
But to me, they've never done that. Not one time. God of War was shown on their stuff. Horizon was shown on their stuff. Death Stranding, that might have been shown somewhere else. I don't know.
The first time they showed Death Stranding was at E3, Sony E3. I believe it was 2015.
Ghost of Tsushima, their stuff. Release dates to all these games, their stuff. I don't remember the last time. They might show little gameplay somewhere else, but they never show original stuff like in a release date or, an announcement. They don't do that. Microsoft does that, and I bitch at them every year for doing it. Because there's a reason when Sony has their big showcases, it's an event. Everyone loves it. Everyone's there. Everyone's watching. That's because we know their stuff is there. And I feel like the past few years, Microsoft has kind of dropped the ball. And I'm not saying they haven't dropped it for good reasons. They were coming from a really bad generation. People weren't trying to watch their content like that. And so I can understand, especially inside Xbox kind of like soured the bowl a little bit too, where people, had unrealistic expectations for stuff like Game Pass for inside Xbox. So I can understand that. But when you go out there and you just had an EXO, I think it was the year of EXO or the year of E3, and you have a decent showing, not amazing, but decent. And then 3 or 4 months later, you show the Xbox Series X and Hellblade, when that could have easily been shown at your show. And it would have made your show way better than it was. I get it. I do think it was the right move. I do. But I can say I understand, but I disagree.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. This is something I haven't thought about, though, because I was kind of under the impression. At first, I was like, yeah, God of War will probably be delayed to 2023. Then I said, nah, I think it's going to come out this year. But you just brought up some great points. Interesting. Makes me think. You're making me think right now, sir.
I think to me, the biggest question is when. When. That's the biggest question. When. Yeah. We don't know when, man. We don't know when these games come out. We don't know none of that. But I do think, like I said, we're having the State of Play tomorrow. I'm going to be reacting with it on this channel. Next week, I might try to bring like ACG or someone if they're not busy. Just to chat it up on, our final expectations going into the show. People have been asking me to get ACG on the show a few times. I keep trying to tell them like he's a busy dude, but I'll try. Right. I'll hit him up, see if he's busy. What's funny is because I've been doing a lot of content with my girl, so ACG followed her. And she was like, "Oh my God, ACG followed me on Twitter." I'm like, "Oh Jesus, man!" She got so excited, and you know that lit me up too, man. It was like, just to see her excited because she's never really been on social media like that. So when like a big personality followed her, it as bad as it sounded, made her feel important for a second. You know what I'm saying? Right. So it was nice to see that that joy in her eyes when she saw that. Right. She's had a pretty shitty
That's cool,
week,
man. That's cool.
So we got a $2 super chat from Paulo Cooper. If they don't show God of War tomorrow, it won't come out to 2022. That's not necessarily true, but I agree with you. I would say if they don't show it tomorrow, it drops another 20%. Goes to I would say 60, 40. And then if they don't show it in a month, it goes to 30, 70.
Right. I see what you're saying. So the longer that it goes, the lower that percentage is, right?
Yeah, because at this point, when are they going to do it? When?
Right. Yeah, it's June. Hey man, Paulo Cooper's the homie. Yo, what's up, bro? Thanks for stopping by, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it. People like having you on here, man.
I love it, man. Man, it's my boy Fark Q. He said, yeah. What's up, man? Thanks for stopping by, man.
All right, so I think we're gonna go ahead and close this out, man. We had 342 people in here right now. Definitely hit that like button, you guys, man. Let's get that over to 200 likes by the end of the show. You guys have been showing up here hardcore the past couple months, man. I really appreciate it. This addict show. I used to do it I'll do it when I do it. You know how you start the podcasting life and you was like, I do it once or twice a month, and then you feel like you got to be a little bit more serious, so you do it 2 times a month. Then you feel like, damn, I'm not taking it serious. Yeah. So then you start doing weekly. You got a $2 super chat from Baby Fargvi. I don't know. Blessed up, fellas. I see you, Griggity.
What's up, bro?
Yeah, you keep going and going, and now I'm doing it every week, and I feel like people are starting to
consistency is the key, bro.
Yeah, people don't realize how hard it is to do YouTube too.
Yeah, it's not easy, man.
Podcasting's a little easier than YouTube, but people feel like podcasting's easy. It's not.
No, it's not.
Got to get people that you vibe with good. You got to get people that you ain't gonna that you can push, but they're not going to go over the board. They're not gonna flip the hell out.
Exactly.
Sometimes people don't like J-Dub. I get it. He's really crazy on Twitter, but I love J-Dub. He's one of my close friends, and I know if I get him on a show, I could push that dude to the very edge. The very edge. He can literally, here's the edge, here's him. And I know that if I could literally push him again and he starts going like this, and I know he's not going to come back out with the punch. You know what I'm saying? He knows his jokes, and he knows I'm not going to take it serious. But I appreciate it for coming through. Dirk, Gregory, what you got anything going on, man? What you got going on?
Yeah, man. My boy Shaun 786. We're streaming the State of Play tomorrow on his channel at 6:00 p.m. Eastern time. Stop and check it out. And yeah, man, I'm just trying to do content on my YouTube channel. We have our podcast on Monday evenings at 6:30 p.m. called We Bleed Green Xbox Podcast. And yeah, we have a lot of fun over there. So stop by and check it out, man. Put the link in the chat.
And just like I said, I appreciate you for coming through.
No problem, man.
It's been a good thing. I appreciate you for coming through. I asked him a couple of days ago. Thank God I asked him a couple of days ago.
See, it's a little better if you give me a heads up. I can, if I have something to do, if it's not too important, I can, I can be here.
I usually try
sometimes,
I usually try to get people out of here an hour and a half to 2 hours. Try to that sweet spot. And if it is 2 hours, it's not it's a couple minutes over 2 hours. Because I know, I ain't trying to have another 2-3 hour show. I do one a week, and I podcast enough on Sunday that some of you podcast 2 or 3 podcasts a week.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny. Yeah, so Dirt put his channel in there, man. Go over there and subscribe to the man. He's a good person. You guys know Hustle. Go subscribe to him. Go over there on Twitter. Wish Hustle a happy birthday. Not happy birthday. Wish him hope he feels better, man.
Oh, you just giving his birthday today?
No,
happy birthday.
Yeah, it's everyone's birthday. It's Dirt Griggity birthday. It's my birthday. It's everyone's birthday. Next week, I'll probably try to have another little prediction show. Like I said, try to get more.
Oh yeah.
People.
And let me say this: Addict did a prediction show. Was it like 2 or 3 weeks ago? Like maybe a month now, right?
Yeah, closer to a month.
I totally loved the way he did the prediction show. He separated it. He didn't let people go on a 20-minute rant about everything they thought was going to be at the show. He separated said, yo, man, what games you think is not going to be there? What games will surprise you? And I loved it. So, we have our prediction show Monday on my channel, and I hope Addy don't mind that I borrow his, his.
You can steal the whole thing, man. It don't matter.
Yeah, it was fire, man. So I said, damn, that's pretty dope. That's the way he did. I love the way he did that. So yeah, because sometimes I hate on prediction shows, people is going a 20-minute rant, and then you go to the next person, they go on a 20-minute rant. No, let's separate it. Let's have a little fun with it. So thanks for that.
Yeah, man. I got a little bit of that format from Cog, how he does them. I took a couple of things. Like Cog likes the what you don't want to see there, and I needed
exactly.
I needed that. But I appreciate we're coming through, man. We're gonna be here next week. Hustle will be back next week. I don't know if Dirt. Yeah, Dirt's kind of like my third wingman, whenever he can make it. So whenever we are still working on the Xbox show. We'll probably have a promotion thing out Friday, Saturday, telling who the guests are. I got one of them confirmed, but I'm still working on the rest. I got to make the prediction promotion, which takes like 8-9 hours because it's ridiculous. Then I'm sure that podcast is going to be long as hell too. So definitely IOP this Sunday, prediction show Xbox. You guys know how we do. We go above and beyond for that show. Nice. We were supposed to have a PlayStation and Xbox one, but kind of grabbed the PlayStation one by the neck. And I was like, we can do you later. Because to me, it made no sense to do a PlayStation show when there's no show announced yet. Right. So when the PlayStation show is announced, most likely the Sunday before that show, we will have one of that. Now, you guys could tag in the comment section on PlayStation Juice to invite to that, because I don't know anyone. So, appreciate, we'll probably have like Jabari and them back on, because we do try to have some PlayStation show, but a lot of them are like, I wouldn't say toxic, but we don't see eye to eye on content. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. So we have to be a little bit picky on that, because we do want everyone to enjoy it, and if we go on too many rants on one way or the other, it gets chaotic. But I appreciate everyone coming through. We're going to go ahead and close out the show. Get Bari and Blaze at it. We'll see about that. I like Blaze. Blaze is a good dude. But I appreciate everyone coming through, and we're going to call it quits, man.